World Cup final and has continued to appear on the World Cup calendar as recently as 2015. Landshut staged the 1997 German Speedway Grand Prix, but hosts its first ever challenge in 2018. The 23rd edition of the Grand Prix Challenge includes 5 former winners of the competition, but only 2 current World Championship regulars. A total of 13 riders in the lineup have over 500 Grand Prix appearances between them, a reflection of the depth and experience in the field. 4 German riders, a qualifier, a wildcard and 2 reserves are included among the 18 riders. 2 of the most successful riders in the history of the challenge, Niels Christian Iversen and Antonio Lindback, line up against 2 riders yet to have made it through in their far shorter careers, Václav Milik and Robert Lambert. The first of 20 heats in the 2018 Speedway Grand Prix Challenge, the final stage of the qualifiers for the 2019 World Championship, and the first of 5 outings for the Heat 1 quartet. Václav Milik off the inside, the Czech granted a wildcard after missing out in Lonico. Gate 2 in blue, Antonio Lindback, winner of the challenge in 2004 and 2011. Gate 3 in white, Robert Lambert, the rising star of British Speedway. And Niels Christian Iversen, the winner of the challenge in 2007 and 2013. Are underway for heat number 1. Iversen with a great start from the outside gate. Lindback away well also. The 2 less experienced riders in the field already some distance back from the top 2. Václav Milik out of shape coming off turn number 2. It's Antonio Lindback giving pursuit then to Niels Christian Iversen, who leads at the end of the opening lap. 3rd place with Václav Milik. Lindback already trying to reach wider, and he's closed up a great deal on the pits turn there, and Iversen lunges for a move down the inside, but the Dane holds firm, locking across the front of Lindback into turn 3. And the Swede then running wide, in danger from behind from Václav Milik, who occupies 3rd position. If Lindback keeps roaring around the outside portion of the circuit, he may make himself vulnerable here, but for the moment at least, he's fairly settled in 2nd position. Milik has no answer. And Robert Lambert stuck out at the back. A disappointing start. One of the youngest competitors in this field. Iversen blasting away. The track's somewhat heavy after rain earlier on that delayed the start time. The riders, particularly towards the back of the field, visibly struggling for pace here. But no such problems for Niels Christian Iversen, who takes the checkered flag in heat number 1. 3 race points for Iversen then, ahead of Lindback in 2nd position. Milik gets the single point in 3rd, and Robert Lambert failing to score. A tough start for the youngsters, and the 2 most experienced riders in the field getting off to a strong start. The lineup for Heat 2, Martin Smolinski off the inside gate in red, the 33-year-old born in Munich, the home favourite. Gate 2 in blue, 2018 Challenge winner Kenneth Bjerre. David Bellego makes his Grand Prix Challenge debut here in white. And Craig Cook, the winner of Qualifier 4 in Ravensburg, the only qualifier from Togliatti last season, back in the lineup tonight. Completes the lineup for this one, heat number 2, off the outside gate. Smolinski, Bjerre, Bellego and Cook for heat number 2. Good start from the outside gate once again, but this time Craig Cook is shuffled wide. It's Smolinski who gets there first, pursued now by Kenneth Bjerre. Cook's gone to the back, takes a tear off down the back straight. You can see the front covers from David Bellego already covered in shale, and as I said early on, the track pretty heavy as a result of the earlier rain. Riders looking for a double-figure score to have a hope of the podium places that secure qualification. Martin Smolinski, a man who's been there before, leads the way in heat number 2. Better start this time off the inside gate. We didn't see much from Milik in the red helmet colour in heat number 1, but Smolinski forced his way there on the inside of Kenneth Bjerre, shuffled up Craig Cook, and that has largely settled this one. Martin Smolinski who leads, the 5 times German Speedway champion, the home favourite heading into the final lap. Kenneth Bjerre close to him, the 2 out at the back from gates 3 and 4, some way adrift now. And Craig Cook with no answer to David Bellego, who has consolidated and is somewhat isolated now in 3rd position. Smolinski takes the checkered flag in heat 2 then, Bjerre in 2nd, and David Bellego collecting the single point in 3rd. Frustration for Craig Cook. He made a good start off the outside gate, just as Niels Christian Iversen did in heat number 1, but shuffled wide, ends up retiring and failing to score. Smolinski, Bjerre and Bellego, the scorers in heat number 2. Heat 3 in red, Hans Andersen making a record-equaling 8th appearance in the Grand Prix Challenge tonight. 2017 Latvian Grand Prix winner Piotr Pawlicki off gate 2. 2012 Challenge winner Christoph Kastak in white. And 2016 Under-21 World Champion Max Frick completes the lineup. flying start from Hans Andersen, anticipated the magnets moving perfectly, but around the outside of him now comes Max Frick, and on the inside of him Piotr Pawlicki, and Frick cuts back to lead down the back straight. Brilliant move from the Australian. After coming round Andersen, gets back up the inside of Pawlicki to lead at the end of the opening lap, and Hans Andersen, who made a flying start off gate number 1, ends up in third position by the end of lap number 1, and now he's battling back but looks over his shoulder, more concerned about what's going on behind him than he is about pursuing the top 2, because Andersen does not appear to have the pace here. 2 veteran riders in third and fourth positions, Andersen and Kasprzak, who've both been Grand Prix winners. Kasprzak, of course, a former world number 2. But it's Max Frick, the current race leader, bidding to become the first Australian winner of the challenge since the late 1990s with Lee Adams. And it's Frick who heads into the final lap now, with Piotr Pawlicki ever closing, but not making up enough margins to really challenge on the final 2 turns. This is going to be a comfortable victory. Second of the evening from the outside starting position. That's a bit of a surprise perhaps, but it's Frick who wins heat number 3. Pawlicki gets second. Hans Andersen shakes his head as he comes over the line in third, and one of the pre-meeting contenders there making a right hash of the opening lap. A decent start off gate number 1, but going backwards, one either side of him. Frick and Pawlicki taking the top 2 places. The favourite for heat 4 is 2014 challenge winner Matej Žagar off the inside gate. Janusz Kolodziej, a former FIM gold medalist with Poland in the Speedway World Cup, goes off gate 2. 2 of tonight's 3 challenge debutants line up together off the outside gates here. Jack Holder, the 22-year-old from New South Wales, and Kevin Walbert, the surprise qualifier from the Lonigo round. Another anticipated start, this time from Janusz Kolodziej, who's got an absolute flyer, a bike length's advantage over Matej Žagar in the early stages. The Slovenian on the inside line, somewhat trapped on the first 2 turns. Jack Holder trying to challenge around his outside off turn number 2. He's now exposed to Kevin Walbert, who's stuck out at the back, the German representative. So contrasting fortunes for the 2 home riders. Smolinski, the winner of heat number 2, and Walbert looks set to fail to score out at the back in this one, heat number 4. No real passing other than the opening lap in the early stages of this meeting as the track beds in following the pre-match preparations. A delayed start to this event, of course. And at the moment, these positions in heat number 4 look settled, and we're set to round out the opening round with a flying start from Janusz Kolodziej, taking him towards the checkered flag. The veteran, former Polish champion and former Grand Prix permanent rider, leading them into the final lap. He's lost a bit of ground over the last lap or so, but Matej Žagar, one of only 2 2018 Grand Prix regulars in the field here today, looking somewhat settled as they come around the final 2 turns. Holder looking up to the outside line, one final dart to the line from him. The Australian just falls short, so Žagar holding on for second position behind the fast-starting Janusz Kolodziej. Single point in third, going the way of Jack Holder. Disappointment for the home representative Kevin Walbert out at the back. So surprise defeats in the opening round of heats for Krzysztof Kasprzak and Matej Žagar, neither of whom looked at their best. 3 of the first 4 race winners are former Grand Prix regulars. Niels Christian Iversen, Martin Smolinski and Janusz Kolodziej, joined on 3 points by Max Frick, with each rider having taken a single outing. The 2 home favourites clash here in the first of the round 2 races, heat number 5. Off the inside gate in red, Kevin Walbert yet to score. Single point score first time out for Václav Milik, he's in blue. Germany's Martin Smolinski, the heat 2 winner off gate number 3. And Krzysztof Kasprzak, who surprisingly failed to score in his opening ride, goes off gate 4 in yellow. Heat number 5 goes tapes up, a level break. Smolinski hasn't made a particularly good one. It's Václav Milik who's the first to show. Creeping round the curb in second position, Kevin Walbert. Martin Smolinski picks off Krzysztof Kasprzak out at the back. He's coated in shell, takes a tear off down the back straight and immediately slips out of contention and now backs it off completely. It looks like a retirement in this one from Krzysztof Kasprzak, leaving our 3-point scorers decided. But will there be a change of position up front? Milik looking controlled in first position, but Kevin Walbert pushing for all he's worth after failing to score first time out. Home rider getting in the way of his own fellow countryman in this one to some extent. Martin Smolinski back in third position. Walbert, who was a qualifier by right, Smolinski, who's in as a wild card. Likewise, Václav Milik, who leads the way, justifying his inclusion in this one, heat number 5. We're into the final lap now, and it's Václav Milik, the 4 times Czech champion, still one of the younger riders in this field, and a rider that plenty would like to see racing in the 2019 World Championship. He's on his way towards the checkered flag. Martin Smolinski some way adrift in third. and it's Milik who wins it ahead of Walbert in second. A 3-all for Germany, if you like, in second and third positions, but that's not a good result for either, really, after Walbert failed to score in round number 1, and Smolinski backs up a race victory first time out with only a single point score in Heat 5. Heat 6 off the inside gate in red, Janusz Kolodze, the Heat 4 winner. Gate 2 in blue, Hans Andersen, a single point score from his opening ride. Gate 3 in white, Antonio Lindback, 2 points to his name. And David Bellego, the lone Frenchman in the field, completes the lineup off the outside gate. Heat number 6 then, Kolodze, Andersen, Lindback and Bellego get underway. Another strong start from Kolodze off the inside gate. He has a bike length advantage by the first turn. He gets his front wheel up over the concrete and runs somewhat wide off turn 2. David Bellego, having slotted into second place, tries to challenge, but it's Kolodze who'll lead them at the end of the opening lap. Hans Andersen trying to force his way past Bellego there off turn number 4. Gets his front wheel right up over the white line. One wheel over the line is fine, but not two at the same time. And referee Christina Turnbull will have an eagle eye for riders trying to gain advantage, particularly as all of the riders are at the moment around the inside line. Kolodze struggling to get the bike in there into turn number 1. You can see the front wheels picking up. There's plenty of grip out there. Kolodze again almost freewheeling into turn number 3 as the rider in white pulls up out at the back. Disappointment for Antonio Lindback after a 2-point score first time out. Heat 6 is well on the way towards being a Janusz Kolodze victory. The Pole, a full-time Grand Prix rider back in 2011. At that stage, he was very much a rising star. Now, very much a veteran. And it's Janusz Kolodze who makes it 2 wins out of 2. A well-controlled ride from the inside gate. Second place and 2 points going the way of David Bellego of France. Hans Andersen, the single point in third. Disappointment for Lindback. A trio of riders here on 2 points apiece from their opening ride, all looking to move inside the qualification positions with a win in heat number 7. In red, it's Piotr Pawlicki. In blue, Matej Jagar. In white, Kenneth Bier. Robert Lambert, the odd one out. He failed to score in heat number 1. Pawlicki, Jagar, Bier and Lambert for heat 7. Another good inside gate from Piotr Pawlicki this time as Kenneth Bier gets completely out of shape around the first 2 turns. Jagar diving down the inside of Pawlicki, side by side, and neither will budge, but in the end, down goes Matej Jagar into turn number 3. He's separated from his machine. This one's going to have to be stopped. Jagar diving down the inside and Pawlicki holding firm in heat number 7. Thankfully, the Slovenian straight up to his feet, but it will be a restaging without the disqualified Matej Jagar. So 3 riders only for the second time of asking for heat number 7. It's Piotr Pawlicki off the inside gate, Kenneth Bier off gate 3 in white, and Robert Lambert off the outside. All now guaranteed to score, providing they complete this one. As the tapes rise on heat number 7, Lambert with a decent jump gets a lot of lift down into the first turn. Kenneth Bier struggling to get around turn number 1, and Lambert moves through into second place. Not quite sharp enough away on the opening lap to challenge Piotr Pawlicki, and Robert Lambert has spent probably half of this lap up on the back wheel. Pawlicki then smoother and more controlled at the moment, and Lambert again struggling, skating across turns 1 and 2, looks over his shoulder. Kenneth Bier is nowhere near him, and the rider's already somewhat spread out. In this one, heat number 7, with Kenneth Bier clearly struggling with these track conditions, and Piotr Pawlicki, for the moment at least, revelling in them. 2 points first time out in heat number 3 behind Max Frick. And it's Piotr Pawlicki, the 2014 under-21 world champion from Leszno in Poland, who enters the final lap as the leader of heat number 7. Still looking over his shoulder, he knows Robert Lambert is there. Kenneth Bier nowhere by comparison. Lambert closing up off the pit's bend. One final attack from the British youngster. Wide on turns 3 and 4. Pawlicki's holding the inside ground. Drag race to the line. Closest race of the day so far, but Pawlicki holds on ahead of Lambert in second. And the real surprise of that one, heat 7, is that Kenneth Bier was absolutely nowhere. And after scoring 2 points first time out, moves on to 3 behind Pawlicki and Lambert in heat 7. 2 previous heat winners come together for the first time in the last of the round 2 races. Niels Christian Iversen, the heat 1 winner in red, and Max Frick, the heat 3 winner in white. But between them, Craig Cook in blue off gate 2, yet to score. And on the outside of them, Jack Holder, a single-point scorer in his opening ride. Heat number 7 then, Iversen, Cook, Frick and Holder are underway. Great start from Cook off gate number 2. It's Craig Cook of Great Britain who gets there first. Challenged around the outside line now by Jack Holder. The pair goes side by side into turn 3. A robust defence from Craig Cook. Sent wide is Holder, and through up the inside of him comes Niels Christian Iversen for second position. Iversen then looking over his shoulder as he covers the inside line on 1 and 2. Both he and Holder skate wide. On the inside now, Max Frick challenging. 2 Australians in 3rd and 4th positions. Both relatively inexperienced at this level, of course. And it's Craig Cook, the current Grand Prix rider, and Niels Christian Iversen, who was a Grand Prix regular as recently as 2017, who sit in 1st and 2nd places. Great bounce back from Craig Cook in this one, who, remember, failed to score in his opening ride in 2017 in Togliatti and recovered to qualify. Can he do the same in 2018? He certainly needs to do so in the context of his season, because he is in the drop zone at the moment in the 2018 Speedway World Championship. He wants to shore up his place for 2019. And the result of heat number 8 shows he's going about it the right way. Takes the flag success from Craig Cook, ahead of Niels Christian Iversen in 2nd position. A bit of a skirmish involving Jack Holder in the early part of that race. And eventually he drops down to 3rd position, with Niels Christian Iversen opportunistically moving through for 2nd. So following Niels Christian Iversen's first defeat, only Janis Kolodje remains unbeaten after 2 rounds of heats. Meanwhile, scoreless from 2 rides, former world number 2 Christoph Kasprzak's hopes of a return to the Grand Prix are seemingly already extinguished. Eight races gone here in Landshut for the 2018 Speedway Grand Prix Challenge. We now move on to the 3rd round of heats. In the red helmet colour of Gate 1, it's David Bellego, 3 points to his name. Gate 2 in blue, Jack Holder, 2 points from 2 rides. Gate 3 in white, Václav Milik, he's on 4. And the outside gate, Piotr Pawlicki, currently tied for 2nd place in the meeting on 5. Václav Milik, a winner last time out then in heat number 5. Can he make it 2 in succession off gate 3 in white? The tapes rise and Milik snakes away. He's completely missed the start. Oh, David Bellego picks up around turns 1 and 2. Milik recovers a position at least. The Frenchman hadn't made a good start off gate number 1. He was clamped on the inside by Jack Holder and then gets out of shape trying to avoid him and goes down to last position. It's Holder who leads lap 1 then. Piotr Pawlicki pursuing in 2nd place. This is going to be another big points haul from the pole, who almost collects the back wheel of Jack Holder coming off turn number 2 as he picks up grip. The riders still struggling to keep their front wheels down, but it's Holder who's got this race down for the moment at least. Heat number 9, he's in command. Piotr Pawlicki slipping away slightly after his error a lap ago. Again up on one wheel coming off the 2nd turn. And a separate battle out at the back. Václav Milik holding on ahead of David Bellego, for whom the first turn really has held him back in this one. Ridden out to the closing stages of heat number 9, and it's going to be Jack Holder from Somerset in the SGP Premiership and Torun in the Polish Extraliga, who's going to take the race victory in this one. Battle out of the back in the closing stages. David Bellego winding it on, but Milik holds on for 3rd position. Bellego furious with that because it was an error on the opening lap that really cost him any chance of a decent points haul in that one, heat number 9. Bellego out of shape as Holder clamped across the front of him into turn 1. The Australian going on to the race victory in heat number 9. Line up for heat 10. Max Frick goes off the inside gate in red, 3 points to his name so far. Gate 2 in blue, already once a heat winner, Martin Smolinski, he's on 4. Valentin Grobauer makes his challenge debut as a reserve replacement for Matej Jagar, who fell in heat 7. And Antonio Lindback, a disappointing start for him, 2 points from 2 rides. He completes the lineup. Underway for heat number 10, and it's the riders from inside and out who've made the best start. Frick is there first on the inside. Lindback clears Smolinski to move through into 2nd place. The German reserve out at the back, but it's German's 3rd and 4th positions. And the home fans won't have too much to shout about in this one. Battle up front is between Frick and Lindback. Lindback starting to make lines. Could we see the first major passing manoeuvre of the day in this one? Lindback winding it on as they go into turns 3 and 4. Trying the outside run. He's the first rider to look even comfortable on that outside line, pursuing another rider. Each time he does run wide though, Martin Smolinski on his favoured inside line is trying to find a way through. Lindback gains a huge turn of speed there, coming off turn number 2 and down the back straight. Now trying to convert that speed as he goes for the inside on turns 3 and 4. Smolinski attempting something different. At very least that's a good rehearsal for his remaining rides, because each of the top 3 are somewhat spread out now and things look settled in this one, heat number 10. Around the final 2 turns then for the final time. It's a race victory for Max Frickin Red ahead of Antonio Lindback in second position. The Australian joins Janis Kolodje as the only other winner of 2 heats in this meeting so far. Result of heat 10, Frick with 3, Lindback with 2, Smolinski 2 third places in succession. This one could almost be a heat from a test match. Great Britain off 1 and 3 versus Poland off 2 and 4. Craig Cook, the heat 8 winner, goes in red. Christoph Kasprzak in blue, yet to score. He'd need 3 wins and a lot of good fortune to make it now. In white off gate 3, Robert Lambert, he's on 2. And the unbeaten meeting leader, Janis Kolodje, goes in yellow. The pole with another good start from gate number 4. Also away well is Craig Cook, challenging him on the inside line. Separate battle out at the back. Christoph Kasprzak passed by Robert Lambert, then backs it off. And I think we're going to see a second consecutive retirement from Christoph Kasprzak. That certainly spells the end of his meeting as a serious contest. With 3 non-scoring rides, there's no way now he could make it through, even with a real shock turn of events. Craig Cook under pressure here from Robert Lambert, who built it up quite nicely on the pits turn, but he runs the same outside line on 3 and 4 and only slips back. So this race seemingly settling down with Janis Kolodje out in front. The Pole scored just 3 points in his last challenge appearance, but he's going to take 3 points for the 3rd time here tonight. Craig Cook looking over his shoulder, knows he needs to hold on to second position ahead of Robert Lambert, who's going to be left on just 3 points from 3 rides, and surely he will be the latest rider ruled out of serious contention for qualification here today. Cook has enough in hand over Lambert to try an outside line on the final turn, but he can't get there. It's Janis Kolodje who makes it 3 wins out of 3, a perfect start to the meeting for him. Craig Cook, the Heat 8 winner, takes 2nd in his 3rd outing, and Robert Lambert 3rd as it's Great Britain 2 and 3 in heat number 11. The 3 veteran Danes off the outside start position against home man Kevin Walbert. 7 races since his last appearance. He has the inside gate for the 2nd time in succession. Gate 2 in blue, Niels Christian Iversen, 5 points, the highest scorer of this quartet. Hans Andersen, gate 3 in white, and Kenneth Bjerre off the outside gate in yellow, 3 points so far. Underway with heat number 12. Bjerre made a decent jump but snaked all the way down to the first turn. It's Iversen who gets there first. Bjerre's shut out at the back. Side by side for second position. Walbert on the inside, Andersen on the outside. Got a lot of lift coming off the second turn. He's committed to the outside run. He now tries the cut back. Walbert's left the inside run open. Down the start finish straight. Andersen is clamped down to the inside into turn number 1. Walbert runs wide again off the pits turn, but Andersen isn't close enough to challenge. Perhaps a little bit too tight in the early stages there, Hans Andersen. The grip might not have moved out too far, but it's moved out slightly away from the curb and far enough for Walbert, even though he was running probably wider than he wanted to get a decent run. And Walbert is now starting to gain ground on the race leader, Niels Christian Iversen. Iversen will recover second position in the meeting standings if things stay as they are in this one. Heat number 12. Walbert, though, pressurising, tries the inside line, front wheel right up over the white line, getting as close to the curb as he dares. Iversen, though, has pulled away down the back straight for the final time. Struggling out at the back once again, Kenneth Bjerre. His meeting has tailed off quite dramatically in his last 2 rides. It's Iversen who wins it. Walbert, a surprise second place for him. A good job off the inside gate to hold on against Hans Andersen in the early stages. It's Andersen who collects the single point, and Kenneth Bjerre out at the back. 2 former GP riders scoring just a point between them in heat 12. So with only 2 rounds of races remaining, 3 leaders have emerged for the first time. Janis Kolodje, Niels Christian Iversen and Piotr Pawlicki have a single point lead over Max Frick. 6 riders on 4 or 5 points now, looking for race victories in their remaining outings. Heat 13, meeting leader Janis Kolodje looking for his 4th straight win. It's Kenneth Bjerre off the inside gate, 2 rides in succession. His hopes all but over after running a last in heat 12. Max Frick off gate 2, 2 wins already to his name. In white, it's Janis Kolodje, the favourite, albeit off the unfavourable gate 3. No winners as yet from there. And Václav Milik off the outside gate in yellow is on a solid 5 points so far. He could do with a win from heat number 13. It's Bier off 1, Frick off 2, Kolodje off 3, the favourite, and Milik off the outside. Kolodje's missed it off 3, the latest rider to struggle from that starting position. Side by side around 1 and 2 for second place as Milik tries a robust, aggressive manoeuvre on the rider in blue, Max Frick, who covers his line into turn 3. But he's run acute into that top bend. That sends him wide. It sends Milik wide as well. And Kolodje has moved through at the expense of the Czech into third position. Doesn't look as though he's going to be able to keep up his unbeaten run, having come from last position through to third. Now his fight is on to try and get second place, but it doesn't look as though Kolodje's got much of an advantage over Max Frick, who holds second position. And where has this come from? From Kenneth Bier, the 2010 Swedish Grand Prix winner, out in front in heat number 13. Hasn't done a great deal of damage during this match so far. 2, 1 and 0 from his opening 3 rides. Well, he's going to complete the set of 4 different results by taking the race victory in this one, heat number 13. Bier is back with a bang. Well clear now of the riders in blue and white. Václav Milik pulls up out at the back. Kolodje settles for third. And a rider who's taken 3 race victories in the meeting so far was well adrift in the end there in heat number 13, showing just how crucial it is to make a start at this level of competition, but particularly given how track conditions are here in Landshut. Bier the winner, Frick second, Kolodje previously unbeaten, just a single point there. Line up for heat 14, Antonio Lindback in red, 4 points from 2 rides. In blue, Kevin Walbert. 2 second places apiece for the riders off the inside. Gate 2 are tied. Gate 3 in white is Craig Cook on 5. And the outside gate in yellow, Piotr Pawlicki on 7 points. The 2016 and 2017 Grand Prix regular. The clear pre-race favourite here for heat number 14. Max Frick moved joint second with Niels Christian Iversen on 8 after that heat 13 result. This race will make the qualification picture somewhat clearer. 4 closely packed riders in the standings go head-to-head in heat 14. Good start off the inside gate from Antonio Lindback. He sends Craig Cook wide. Second briefly is Piotr Pawlicki, but Cook has the momentum, having used the outside line on turn 2 and comes through for second position. Lindback leads it then. Cook second, Pawlicki third. And tailed off in this one, Kevin Walbert. This will be enough, I would suggest, to end his chances of qualification. The battle is on for second place. Cook is having to defend. Pawlicki starting to build up speed as this race goes on. This is going to be the pole's worst result of the day so far. He's been in either first or second position in each of his opening 3 outings, dropped just 2 from 3 rides, but he's going to drop another 2 in this one to Lindback, who leads, and Cook, who occupies second. Pawlicki again building it up on turn number 3, but he doesn't have an answer to the 2018 Grand Prix regular and one of the stars of the recent British Grand Prix at Cardiff, Craig Cook, who sits in second place, the former British champion. But in the closing stages, it's going to be a race victory for the reigning Swedish champion. Antonio Lindback gets his meeting back up and running. Piotr Pawlicki down in third, but he'll remain inside the provisional qualification positions for the moment at least. He's tied there with Max Frick and also Niels Christian Iversen, who still has a ride in hand. Heat 14, Lindback wins it, Cook second, Pawlicki, who I was talking about there, in third. It's make or break for Jack Holder and Martin Smolinski. Both heat victors this evening, lining up inside and out. Holder, the Heat 9 winner, goes off Gate 1. Smolinski, the darling of the home crowd, the winner of Heat 2, has Gate 1 to come again in round 5, but needs to get something from this one off Gate 4. The current qualification cutoff is 8 points. Holder, Lambert, Anderson and Smolinski. Good start off Gate 1 from Holder. He blocks out Lambert in the run down to the first turn. Lambert recovers on the inside line, trying to pick off Smolinski. He's through for third. Smolinski relegated to the back. Anderson with an aggressive ride to get across the front of Holder. Good ride from him coming into turn number 3. Holder trying to recover on the inside line. 2-rider fight at the moment for top spot. Anderson has skated wide coming off the pits turn. Holder is not quite close enough to pounce this time, but another error from Anderson will open it up for Holder. Here comes Lambert around the outside now, trying to pick off the Australian for second. Lambert pulls alongside down the start-finish straight, moving to block its Holder. Lambert with the cutback. Holder's managed to diamond off turn number 2 to hold on, and and again goes off in pursuit of Hans Andersen. Lambert winding it on around the outside, picks off Holder, pulls alongside, challenging Andersen now, squeezes down the start-finish straight and picks off two riders in 2 turns. Undoubtedly the best rider of the day so far. It's Robert Lambert who now leads. Andersen slow on the inside line. He's holding up Holder, and Holder looking to the inside line coming off turn number 4. But what a ride that is from Robert Lambert. On fine form at the moment, the youngster, winner of the recent European Championship round, a contender in the Under-21 World Championship in a season that's already seen him crowned British champion. A slow start to this meeting, but a fantastic win in Heat 15. 2 withdrawals from the meeting ahead of Heat 16 give this one a much-changed lineup. Christoph Kasprzak is withdrawn and will be replaced in his 2 remaining rides, both from the inside gate, by Valentin Grobauer. And Matej Jagar, who sat out Heat 10, has also now withdrawn and will be replaced by Max Dilger in 2 successive rides. The focus is on Niels Christian Iversen off gate 2. His task made somewhat simpler here. A race victory would guarantee him at least a run-off for qualification with a ride to spare. Grobauer, Bellego, Iversen and Dilger for heat number 16. 2 reserves as the tapes go up. Good start from Iversen off 3. He's across Bellego already, and surely that's half the job done in this one. Dilger, his first time on the track, struggles to get around turns 1 and 2, and although he's gated 3rd, he's passed by Grobauer before getting back down the back straight. So a battle at the back between the 2 reserve riders. Dilger almost freewheeling motocross style into turn 2 for the first time, but Grobauer struggling for pace. Learning experience for him in particular, one of the younger riders in this field, the reserve. But as they come around the top turn once again, there's no change for the moment in the closest fight for 3rd and 4th position. And it doesn't look like there's going to be any change up front either. Niels Christian Iversen will put one hand on a place in the 2019 World Championship. The Dane, remember, was a full-time Grand Prix rider as recently as 2017 and saw that championship campaign ended by injury. But the 6 times Danish champion is on his way back towards the Grand Prix. He's been making fantastic starts here tonight, and that'll serve him well in the Speedway World Championship. Still the battle raging for the single point as Grobauer tries the outside line on Max Dilger. It's very close in the run down to the line for 3rd, but Dilger holds on to become the first of the reserves to score here tonight in his opening ride. But the focus was on the battle up front between Iversen and Bellego, and really, that was settled by the time they came off turn 2. Good start from Iversen, who takes the 3 race points and is now just a point away from certain qualification. 10 riders enter the final round of heats within 3 points of 3rd position and therefore still in theoretical contention, but realistically only a total collapse could now deny Niels Christian Iversen and Janusz Kolodje thanks to their 2-point buffer to 3rd position. That ranking will be the most closely contested in heat 17 to 20. Heat 17 next up. 3 riders still in mathematical contention. But at this stage, only one serious contender lining up here. That's Craig Cook, who goes off gate 2 in blue. Václav Milik on the inside of him on 5 points so far. Gate 3 in white, it's the reserve Max Dilger who comes in to replace Matej Jagar. And off the outside gate in yellow, Hans Andersen. Very unfortunate draw with 2 rides off gate 3. And he is only on 5 points. So in terms of the standings, Iversen on 11, Kolodje on 10, Pawlicki and Frick on 8 points apiece. This is a vital race for Craig Cook. He's on 7. You don't often see a rider make the podium without managing a double-figure total. And Cook could move on to 10 with a race victory here. It's Milik, Cook, Dilger and Andersen for heat number 17. Riders looking down at the magnets and we're underway. Cook with a brilliant start off gate 2. Gets to the first turn first. Milik occupying 2nd position. Challenge now on the inside line by Hans Andersen coming off turn number 2. Predictably, the reserve Dilger is some way adrift already out at the back. But Andersen doesn't have an answer from Milik, and Cook hasn't lost any of the positions that he's gated in so far here tonight. The closer fight is for 2nd place. Andersen still trying to creep around the curb. Former Grand Prix winner, of course, Hans Andersen. But he doesn't have an answer for the moment, at least, to the former Czech champion Václav Milik, who occupies 2nd place. 2017 British champion Craig Cook it is who leads the way. Had a brilliant 2017 season. Great meeting in Togliatti to make it into the World Championship. 2018 hasn't gone his way so far. But are things turning around here tonight in Germany? Craig Cook with a significant advantage now over Václav Milik. Cook, who recently signed for Glasgow in the SGB Championship, getting plenty of racing in the remainder of this season. It'll prepare him nicely for 2019. He's into the final lap. But will Craig Cook be a Grand Prix rider next season? Doesn't look like he's going to make automatic qualification in 2018's World Championship Series, but he is still in with a shot of making it through from Landshut here tonight. Cook wins Heat 17. Perfect start to the final round for him. Second place going the way of Václav Milik. His challenge is ended. Likewise, Hans Andersen with only third. He finishes on 6. But it's Craig Cook who'll be delighted with the result of that one. Did exactly what he needed to do with a fast start off gate number 2, covering across the front of Václav Milik and powering away for the 3 race points to finish on 10. A must-race win, this one for Antonio Lindback. The Swede is the only rider in this one still in contention. 3 points here would leave him waiting on results of the 2 remaining races to see if he's done enough to force a runoff. 11, 10 and 10 are the top scorers now, so any rider on less than 7 is automatically out of contention. As we see the lineup in full for Heat 18, Valentin Grobauer replacing Christoph Kasprak off the inside, Antonio Lindback off 2, Kenneth Bier off 3, and Jack Holder off the outside. Lindback needs to match Cook, and he's done so off the same starting position. Gate number 2, he gets the whole shot. Challenged closely around the first 2 turns by Jack Holder. Holder ducks up the inside line. Lindback holds firm, but he's sent wide across turns 3 and 4. Holder has the inside. The drag race continues between the top 2, but Lindback clears Holder down the start-finish straight at the end of the opening lap. Holder still close, cuts back again off the second bend. He wants the inside line. Lindback, though, knows how to hold it. Running wider on the top bend. Again, hitting all sorts of lumps and bumps as they come through to complete half-race distance. Lindback looking good. Holder's challenge that was so strong on the opening 2 laps starting to fade now. Not too much in this one for Jack Holder, who even with a race win couldn't qualify. And it's Antonio Lindback, who needed the victory most, who's leading the way for now. Craig Cook will be as tense as you like down in the pits, as he's about to see a 3-way tie emerge for second position between himself, Janusz Kolodze, who's still got a ride to come, and Antonio Lindback, who completes his meeting programme with a win. The most experienced rider in this lineup at Grand Prix level could be on his way back to the World Championship full time. Results have got to go his way, and we could well have a runoff at the end of the night. Thanks to the results of Antonio Lindback there in heat number 18. He ties with Craig Cook. We've got a 3-way tie on 10 points behind Niels Christian Iversen, the current meeting leader. The focus here is on Max Frick, the only member of this quartet still in contention for qualification. Anything less than a top 2 finish and the Australian will be eliminated. Robert Lambert goes off the inside gate in red after his stunning Heat 15 ride. Max Frick off gate 2 in blue. Frick on 8 points. Remember, the target total at the moment is 10. Lindback, Cook and Kolodze tied there. Kevin Walbert goes off gate 3 in white. He's out of contention. Likewise, David Bellego, who completes the lineup, the Frenchman off the outside gate in his first ever challenge meeting. Finding out just how tough it is at this level. He's yet to win a race, but a solid enough 5 points for his opening effort at this level. Lambert, Frick, Walbert and Bellego. Frick the only contender off 2 and he hasn't made it. It's Lambert with a sensational start. Bellego comes around the outside of Frick. So does Walbert. Frick in trouble here, and Frick slowing up down the back straight. And Max Frick, in probably the biggest race of his career so far, with an opportunity to make it into the Speedway World Championship, has lost drive coming off the second bend, lost 2 positions, and lost exactly the position he needed to qualify for the 2019 World Championship. Frick will be devastated as he fails to score in Heat 19. The race continuing, but this is largely academic. Only for glory and honour here for Robert Lambert. Even the 3 race points will only move him on to 9. He'll still be a point short of the provisional cut-off. Lindback, Cook and Kolodze all tied on 10. This non-scoring ride for Max Frick will see him eliminated. Race for second position early on between Bellego and Walbert. There's going to be another point on the board for Kevin Walbert, who was a surprise qualifier, but has acquitted himself well to finish on 5 race points here tonight. Second race victory in a row for Robert Lambert, that one far less dramatic. It's Lambert from the Kings Lynn Stars in the SGB Premiership who wins heat number 19. Second place going the way of David Bellego. And third place to Kevin Walbert, with Max Frick retiring at just the wrong moment in his night. A failure to score in heat 19 sees him eliminated. So a last heat decider, with potentially all three of the podium finishers and therefore qualifiers lining up at the tapes. Martin Smolinski is the odd one out, with nothing riding on this one now. He goes off the inside gate. Janusz Kolodze needs just a single point to guarantee his progression. He goes off gate 2. Piotr Pawlicki, only a top 2 finish will keep him in the hunt. A race victory will secure a place in the 2019 World Championship. Meanwhile, Niels Christian Iversen on 11 is already through, but beating Janusz Kolodze here will be enough to give him the overall meeting win as well. Heat 20, with plenty riding on it. Good start from Smolinski. Good one as well from Iversen, who tries to come all the way around the outside of Smolinski. Kolodze's in third position where he needs to be. Smolinski challenging for the race lead. Iversen hasn't left much room, but Smolinski takes it, moves Iversen out of the way, and comes through to lead. And Kolodze is up into second position. And this will be enough for the pole to win the meeting. Niels Christian Iversen will be oh so relieved that he's already through, because he's stranded in last position here and doesn't look like he's going to be able to gain anything extra to try and challenge for the meeting win. The meeting win a secondary priority, to be perfectly honest, in the challenge compared to qualification. Kolodze losing ground here to Piotr Pawlicki, but this is a desperate moment for Pawlicki, who's got to get through into the top 2 positions to have a hope of qualification. 2 points for Pawlicki in this one would move him on to 10, would force a runoff, but Pawlicki is not going to get there, and Martin Smolinski breaks the heart of Piotr Pawlicki, because he comes round turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and the one rider who needed absolutely nothing from this race is the one who takes the checkered flag in heat 20. Martin Smolinski, for his second race victory of the day, has won his 2 rides off the inside gate. He scored only 2 points from his other 3 rides and he's eliminated. But the German fans are pleased enough to see a home representative win a race for the second time here tonight. Smolinski gets there ahead of Kolodze, the meeting winner. So after a strong start, Piotr Pawlicki falls short of qualification. And despite finding form in his later outings, Robert Lambert also misses out by a point. Australians Frick and Holder, as well as home hero and double race winner Martin Smolinski, finished 2 points short on 8. But we have one additional race here tonight, because as you can see from the standings, Janusz Kolodze, the meeting winner, on 12. Niels Christian Iversen, the runner-up, on 11. We have a 2-way tie for the final qualification position to the 2019 Speedway World Championship. It's Craig Cook, a 2018 Grand Prix rider, versus Antonio Lindbach, a former Grand Prix winner. Cook has the inside portion of the circuit here. He goes in red. And Antonio Lindbach, the outside portion of the circuit. He goes in blue. It's a straightforward one-on-one, head-to-head fight with only one qualification position up for grabs. The runoff, loads of edginess on the tapes. Cook's made a beauty. Lindbach's going to have to do it from behind. Immediately searches up to the outside line. He's all out of shape around turns 1 and 2, desperate to find a way through. Cuts back to the inside into 3. Cook has a good run, smooth on the outside line, but Lindbach's almost alongside. Close fight here, one-on-one, in the final race of the day. Lindbach wide into turn 1, wants the cutback. Is Cook going to leave the inside run open? No, he isn't. Closes the door into turn number 3. Lindbach with his back wheel in the dirt, trying to pull alongside. He has pulled alongside, and Lindbach is through to hit the front. Cook battling back on the inside on the pits turn, but Lindbach has made his move and is starting to pull away. And it's going to be devastation for Craig Cook, unless anything goes wrong for Antonio Lindbach in the closing stages. The Swede will make his return to the Speedway World Championship by the narrowest of margins, having fought his way back. Just 4 points from his first 3 rides, 2 second places and a last. He's going to have won all 3 of his rides since then. Craig Cook ends up on the final 2 turns, and it's Antonio Lindbach who wins the runoff and becomes the 3rd qualifier to the 2019 Speedway World Championship. Delight for Lindbach. He's certainly done it the hard way, but he came alive in the second half of the meeting and denies Craig Cook in the cruelest of fashions. After the Brit made the start in the runoff, he's overhauled by the last of our qualifiers, Antonio Lindbach. So disappointment for Craig Cook, who for a second season in succession finishes fourth. But this time there'll be no reprieve unless he can make it into the top 8 in the 2018 series. None of the podium finishers in the latest edition of the Challenge are current World Championship regulars. I'm very happy. I came here with a clear goal and we did our job in the team to go through. I've accomplished my main target for the year, so now we just need to keep working. This was brilliant for me. I'm really happy that I managed to qualify back to the series. That was the main goal, so it's a big relief to get through such a hard meeting. It wasn't easy, but I gave it everything. Being a Grand Prix rider is my absolute dream, and today my dream has come true. I'm so happy. I have a lot of work to do in the winter to make sure I have a good 2019 season, but I think it will go well.
Another
close Grand Prix challenge where just 3 points separated third from 12th. And surviving the pressure in the meeting's latter stages to qualify for the 2019 World Championship are podium trio Antonio Lindback, Niels Christian Iversen and Janus Kalodje.